Asia. A Zavarian, Mr. Khandelwal is a financial professional with 18 years of working experience in both Indian and international MNCs, including big names like Airtel, Unilever PLC, to name a few. Our next esteemed guest is Mr. C.A. Mayank Gupta, Chief Financial Officer of Ecom Express, an SRCC alumnus. Sir has over 20 years of work experience, including 14 years at GE and over 2.5 years in Maruti Suzuki. In past, he was the CFO of GE Gas and Oil and had also handled one of the largest income tax cases in India. Next, we would like to introduce Mr. C.A. Saurabh Jain, Vice President of MobiKwik. Starting as BCom graduate from SRCC and being a rank holder chartered accountant, Mr. Saurabh Jain has over 18 years of experience with trade organizations like Hindustan Unilever Limited, Bharti Airtel, and being at the reputed post of Vice President in Zomato. This panel will be moderated by none other than Mr. Amit Arora, CA and news anchor of the Doordarshan channel. CA Amit Arora has held prestigious positions like Chief Financial Officer of CARE and Financial Manager of the American Red Cross. His family members, Mrs. Ragini Arora and Nakul Arora, are also here with us. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. I think a big round of applause for both the anchors here. I'm an anchor, so I associate first and foremost with the anchors. Thank you, Naina. Thank you, team, Wings of Fire. It is an honor to be here at SRCC Delhi University. This is a beautiful day, 29th of February. This date comes once in 4 years. This has become extra special because all of us happen to be here in the Delhi University campus. Thank you, team SRCC, for inviting us over. These are very exciting times. All of you would certainly like to have a good career, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions, so I'm coming down just to tell you what it reads here. So it says, the better the question, the better the answer, and the better the world works. So we have already been introduced to the panelists, and let me just quickly tell you a little bit more about them, and also request them if they can really add more to their introduction. I think the first introduction for Saurabh Jain will be that it was in 1997 that he passed out from SRCC. Please welcome Vice President and Head Finance, MobiKwik, Saurabh Jain. Would you like to share a little bit more about your introduction, Saurabh?
Okay. Hello everyone, and as Amit has introduced me, my name is Saurabh, and I started my journey, in '94 when I in the commerce field in '94 when I joined SRCC, and at that point in time and at this point in time, it is still one of the best institutions for pursuing a course in finance and building a career in finance, and one of the finest minds pass out from SRCC, and it was just a pleasure to be part of this college. After that, I graduated, and after my graduation, I did my chartered accountancy. After graduation, I did my chartered accountancy and passed out in 2000. And then, my corporate journey started. I worked for about 12 years in telecom industry. At that point in time, telecom industry was growing like anything. And, I was lucky enough to be part of that industry at that point in time. And so I was picked up by Bharti Airtel from CA campus. And very few companies used to come in campus at that point in time, but and Bharti was a very small company at that point in time. And they did come at campus, and I was lucky to join in there. So I worked for about a decade almost with Bharti, and I enjoyed my stint there, not only because it was one of the fastest growing companies at that point in time, but I was also part of the sector which was one of the fastest growing, and there was so much to do there, so it was really an enjoyable experience there. Then I also spent some time with Tata Docomo, so all in all 12 years with telecom, then a couple of years with travel industry with Interglobe Enterprises, which runs Indigo Airlines, and then last 4 or 5 years have been in the startup world, which is altogether a different world, from large Indian houses and MNCs, the way they work and the kind of exposure they give you. So again, I'm very lucky to be part of the startup world in the last 4-5 years, and I have worked with Zomato, and currently I'm working with MobiKwik. So I mean, that's my professional journey.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Saurabh. Please have a seat. So, of course, now you know his journey. 12 years in the telecom sector, aviation, food tech, like Zomato, and now fintech, MobiKwik. Please also welcome CA Gaurav Khandelwal. And in OYO, they say you're not an employee, you are an OYOpreneur. Please tell us more about your journey.
First of all, thank you very much for this invite. I come from St. Xavier's, and for me, one of the things on my bucket list was to come to SRCC. So today, one thing has gotten off my bucket list today, so thank you so much. Just as a background, I've worked with HUL, I've worked with Airtel, and that was a career around 16-17 years, both in India and abroad. But I think what CA education really taught me was an ability to do things which normally would not be finance. So almost a third of my career has actually been in non-finance roles. So I've done procurement, supply chain, logistics, contract manufacturing, and I think that's just a reflection of what a CA education teaches and prepares us for. The second is, I think we are all very privileged to be living in India where entrepreneurship is booming. Just to give you a sense, till 5 or 6 years back, there were 0 unicorns in India. Unicorns are companies with $1 billion valuation. Guess what the number is today? It's 20 plus. And I think it's such a big opportunity for us as a country. And within that space, what it might mean for CAs is to play a role and actually be a bit bold in making their choices. And for me, I think the company which came closest to realizing the dream of being an entrepreneur was my current organization, OYO. As Amit mentioned, we are not employees there, we call OYOpreneurs, and I'm a very, very proud OYOpreneur. So thank you again so much for the invite.
Thank you very much. We've got Gaurav with us, Chief Financial Officer, OYO, India, South Asia. Please also welcome CA Mayank Gupta, Chief Financial Officer with Ecom Express. You passed out SRCC 2000. Yes.
Firstly, it's a lot of memories coming here in college 20 years later. I was one of you guys sitting, Wings of Fire was not there at that time. We used to have our ComSoc, Commerce Society, which was the closest to this. It's pretty great to come back 20 years later. And my journey from the time I passed out of the, great doors of this institution to now has been pretty eventful. I think the power of this college is, wherever you go, you'll end up figuring out a guy, which has some linkage to SRCC. A lot of our alumni is all over the world in a lot of great positions. My career over the last 20 years is, I think, our colleague said, I started with Maruti. Since I was a rank holder, I did not sit in a campus. And Maruti just picked up the rank holders at that time. Spent 3 years with them, handled one of the largest tax cases at that time. Starting with the accounting job of payments handling for Maruti. Moved to taxation, and then that was my linkage to join GE. When I became CA, I wanted to work for GE. GE at that time was like the Apple and Google of today. It was like #1 company 20 years ago, which is like leadership factory and top 3 in almost every parameter on earth. I was fortunate to join that company and spend almost 1.5 decades with GE. Was fortunate enough to work in various roles. My almost 14 years stint, 7 years was as a finance guy going up the chain. Including a global leadership program of GE, where I was fortunate to work in around 11 countries physically, right from US, almost all continents, Europe, a bit of France, UK, a bit of Asia, and a bit of Middle East as well. In the last 7 years, I became a CFO of various GE verticals, managing the regions.
इसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करने का इंटरेस्ट रखते हैं, और जो आपका एरिया है उसको आप कैसे लीवरेज करके बिजनेस को हेल्प करना चाहते हैं, और बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, आई थिंक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को इस पे ही रखते हैं.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll take one point at a time. Your take, Mayank, entrepreneurship, what are the other missing links? What Saurabh suggests is create and unlock value. Go beyond what you could possibly perceive.
So, I'll little bit broaden the word entrepreneurship. I think to me it starts with an owner mentality, no matter what you do. I'll go back like 20 years. My first job, my first boss, who's like today the CFO of Maruti Suzuki, he told me, entire your life, make sure whatever salary you get, and Manpreet, your question, you are delivering back to company to its bottom line at least 10x of your salary. Yeah? And that's the ownership you need to drive in whatever you do across your life. And if you do that, you are an entrepreneur sitting inside a company throughout your life. 20 years fast forward, I followed almost, in any role I've taken, I followed that advice to the core. But if you see, like since we represent startup worlds, what we feel, and we work with founders, we as a CFOs, you are actually like the next founder. You are the part of the club, and you are the de facto founder along with the founder club. So I think for me, it's basically having that vision and a passion on an idea. What is the business you're trying to solve, and going full hog around it. And I think over last, I would say 10 years, a lot of things have changed. When we became CAs, the entrepreneurship means opening a CA practice, right? Normally that was the environment, yeah? Who would have thought like there will be an Oyo will come out, there will be a Flipkart will come out, and on a button press, like your computer, your phone is probably 20 times powerful than a computer. So, now there are enough capital available if you have the right idea. If you have a right idea, right conviction, like in my current company, we just closed the funding out 2 months ago. And today environment of funding is very, very tight. However, anybody who's a great idea and is executing it solidly with a path to profitability or having a profit has enough capital chasing a few ideas.
Okay, fair enough. So before I come to Gaurav, I'm coming back to you again. Please understand, in the entire panel discussion, you people are at the fulcrum. It has to make sense to you. What has been said so far, that if you're looking at CA entrepreneurship emerging pathways, there are possibilities, but we cannot have the conservative mindset of 9 to 5 job. How many of you are willing to go and take more risk? Okay? Okay, Gaurav, does that gladden your heart that you've got about 80% people? How many of you would like to have a conservative 9 to 5 job, weekends, spending merrily with family? And there is a difference between Friday evening and Monday morning then. Friday evening, world is very good, everything happy. Monday morning, you are reminded of that teacher or calendar, your boss. Yeah, conservative 9 to 5 job. Yes, please.
So one, I think, thank you very much for the show of hands. It's very heartening to know that there is a big talent pool available. I think I'll just add a couple of dimensions to what's been mentioned earlier. I think one element of entrepreneurship is being okay with things going wrong. Yeah, in a very conventional job, you are very, it's very siloed, checklisted, etc. Entrepreneurship means that you will make a mistake, you learn very quickly from it and try something else. That again may go wrong, doesn't matter. But finally you will find a way to get it right, or at least make sure you don't repeat it. So I think that's one dimension I would add. Second, I think just building on what Saurabh mentioned earlier, I think one thing for all of you to think about is that entrepreneurship is no longer about saying कि मुझे अपना ही business करना है. I think there are a whole host of companies today, and I think all of us come from companies where there is full liberty to work like an entrepreneur. There is full, that full flexibility, full freedom, full, the bandwidth to challenge things, give your point of view. So again, when you think from a career perspective, if you are that entrepreneurship bent of mind, and I would encourage each one of you to be there, I think don't worry about saying कि मुझे खुद अपना business करना है. There are enough and more very, very big credible companies which provide exactly that environment. And it really, all of us have come from very large orgs. We've seen the difference of how it plays out.
I think another area that brings clarity now that Gaurav has mentioned, not that when we talk about CAs and entrepreneurship, we only have to do something of our own. That is one. The other is we could still be in a startup ecosystem where we may be traditional employees, but like Gaurav said, in his company it's called Oyopreneurs. You are very much like a partner, like Saurabh also said, Mayank also said. So there are two ways. Either you open something of your own, Two, you may work in a work culture where they consider you as a partner. Both the options are open. But Saurabh, let's do a quick round now. Since it was also mentioned that you have to embrace failure and uncertainty better than most. If you would like to explore the power of entrepreneurship, would you like to share in your journey any one or two mistakes that may have happened? And how did you handle those mistakes or failures?
So I think I will keep it as short as possible. I think I said that earlier that I was very lucky to be part of an organization which was not very huge at the time I joined, but it was in a rapid expansion phase. So वहाँ पे there was a lot of freedom in terms of, as Gaurav also mentioned, of doing things on your own, deliver the results, take ownership और आप deliver कीजिए. और अपना और कोई लिमिट्स नहीं थी कि मतलब आपको अगर फाइनेंस करना है, अकाउंटिंग करनी है, बैलेंस शीट बनानी है तो वही बनाना है. There was freedom to go out. I think so that worked in my favor. In terms of mistakes, I think there are so many mistakes that I would have made. And to Gaurav's point, I think there is no one and there can be no one जो बिल्कुल perfectly चीज़ें first time करता चला जाए अपनी life में, ऐसा कभी होगा नहीं. And so I think in my experience, when I was working with Bharti, I was only focusing on finance, and I mean, to keep it short, I made a lot of mistakes because I was not knowing about how the industry works in the initial phase. So that made my job a little difficult. But there were leaders under whom I was working and who gave me opportunity to go out of my domain and learn things. I think.
Any case study, Mayank, would like to share where it is okay to fail and you embrace failure with that sincerity, just like we will embrace success?
Yeah. So look, I'll give a close example where it was a bit of a personal failure, but also a very challenging situation I got into. So in one of my roles in my organization GE, in one of the roles I was able to close a very very large deal at a global level, and then after that I took a role in an oil and gas environment. And when I took the role, the oil was more like a $90 per barrel. That was a focus area for the company. I ended up joining that and I took the CFO role for the region. Within 4 months of my joining, oil tanked to $23 per barrel. So that means the entire oil and gas sector, which like the assuming cost is at $40 and anything above $40 is the margin you make as an entire ecosystem, like the entire sector became loss-making. So what ended up is I said, look, what have I done? Like in 4 months, I was coming from the top end, closing like a $4 billion deal, and now I'm here, going through the toughest time of my career. Every single travel was stopped, lot of travel restrictions, cost restrictions, salary increase, everything was stopped, almost for 2 years. So I think how did I, adjust to it and probably embrace it is, what I see in startups and linking back to forward in my life, when you hit a wall and you go through a down cycle, life actually is a great teacher. You get to know so many new things, how you get the best bang for a buck. So that means every single dollar we were spending for anything new, there could be a marketing spend or it could be any product spend, it was highly optimized. So it was tough to see like taking tough decisions like layoffs for a few cases, but we were able to figure out placing them in alternate industries. So that entire experience, what it does is like you go through a tough patch, but you emerge very, very emotionally very strong and can build a real character for the future.
Excellent, that's very helpful. So guys, even in journalism, trust me, when we do live broadcasting, not everything goes to plan. So say for example, you're doing a live commentary on television and mic comes up. How will you respond? All of this is very essential to make a good anchor. Everything else is secondary. The other day when I was doing live commentary for President Trump's visit, we were supposed to go live on Doordarshan 11:45. We sat at the commentary box at 11. And suddenly at 11:20, our producer Mr. Chauhan says we are going live at 11:25. Now can I say no, I will not start at 11:25? Started at 11:25. So right was being expressed. When you hit the wall, you need to know how to get up and run faster to an alternative route. Now, when you talk about Boyo rooms, they are expanding not only in India, across the globe. Imagine now with coronavirus, threat in China and Singapore and Japan. Do you think that will affect Boyo's business? How many of you feel that will affect Boyo's business? How many of you think that Gaurav Khandelwal is a worried CFO right now? Worried CFO? Let's ask. Yes, Gaurav. How do you handle a contingency like a coronavirus?
Well, I think the key thing is to always be ready with a plan A, plan B, and a plan C. I think that is most important. I think you pick up any business for that matter, there is inevitably something which comes very unexpected, So if I go back, I think let's say go back to 2008, some prime. No one ever thought that there would be something like this which could ever happen. Till 3 weeks back, the world did not know what coronavirus is. So I think what entrepreneurship is about, and what at least I've seen working with founders, is that I think that readiness to be flexible, and I think quickly switching from plan A and plan C, which a regular job often does not have that kind of flexibility. To your specific question whether I've got it, no, the answer is no. Entrepreneurship means that you learn to take the hits in your strides, but quickly find ways to overcome it.
Great, this is very nice. A round of applause for all three so far. We're getting nice insight. If you have more questions, I'll keep coming back to you, because your question is worth its weight in dollars. And if only you can get the right set of questions today, then the answers will also follow. Yes? Okay, let me ask you this. How many of you believe that if you have an idea, you would want to have help of an incubator? How many of you know what is an incubator when it comes to entrepreneurship? Okay. How many of you do not know what is an incubator? Do not know. Okay, for those who know, can you just step forward? Come. Why don't you express? Come. Round of applause for these two, please. Come. Come. CA Confluence is a confluence of thoughts of everyone. Please introduce yourself and tell us what is an incubator.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dee, and according to me, incubator is a place, or you can say that it is an organization that helps startups to grow. So the basic theme, the basic derivation of incubator is from a very basic concept that when a premature baby is born, he needs various facilities which he needs to grow. So an incubator, in biological terms, offers him those facilities which provides him a sustainable environment where he can grow. Similarly, for startups, an incubator is a place, an organization which helps little junior baby startups to grow. That's what I think.
Right. Do you want to add?
Basically,
Yes. Sorry.
I said everything, but I would just add that it provides financial as well as technical support as well as some resource training.
Okay.
According to that, so that the startup further and grow further.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you both. Have a seat. Absolutely right. A round of applause for both of them. Have you seen the film Good News? So when the child of Diljit Dosanjh and Kiara Advani is premature, he is born on the 7th month, they put the child to an incubator, just so that you can hold him, help him. Similarly, that word has come from there. Vineet is absolutely right. So when somebody has a young idea and you would want mentorship of the likes of Mayank, Gaurav, Saurabh and the others, you can go to an incubator. We're all knowing now what is an incubator. Let me ask you a $1 million question now. Do you think ICI has an incubator? For those who are not aware, ICI, does it have an incubator? You're saying you do not know? You're saying it's there. How many are not sure? Should ICI have an incubator? Because then only you will benefit. Should ICI have an incubator? Is it your wish list? Would you demand that? Okay? See, that is why I'm saying take advantage of making sure that the policy holders listen that, mentors listen that, very essential. Then only you will create an ecosystem. Your idea will be there. I know you will have a lot of ideas. Execution of idea is very important, but then you also need hand-holding. So let me come to the mentors now. Mayank, do you think that if somebody has an idea and when they graduate out of SRCC, as they do their chartered accountancy or whatever course you would like to do, what is the right age for them to start entrepreneurship, either themselves or joining a company like yours? Do you think that there is merit in reaching out to an incubator?
Yeah. So look, from my perspective, there's no age of entrepreneurship. I think Oyo or Ritesh, he's like still 26, 27, and he's already a billionaire, probably, or more than billionaire. So I think the age is now, world is moving fast. However, without a few exceptions, with few exceptions, in my personal view, it's better. It's my personal view, and I'll do a caveat around. It's better to at least test on somebody else's money to begin with. Okay, so you join a company who at least from an employee perspective fosters innovation. Try to do experiments like something like, let's say, a Flipkart, right? If you see Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, they joined Amazon, right? Both of them were part of the same team. They worked for 2 years in Amazon, tried everything, tried coding and look at it and figured out, hey, look, this could really work in India. Left Amazon and came out and then started Flipkart. And 10 years forward, Flipkart is the #1 startup of the country. Yeah. So in my view, there's no age. It depends what is your conviction level. What I would recommend is try to start bootstrap, right? If you have an idea, keep watching out, right? Ideas can exist from anywhere. So if you have an idea, just lump on that. If you can figure out 1 or 2 people you like and could be with some diverse backgrounds, put some of your own money to begin with. Like that's what Jeff Bezos did. Jeff Bezos, if you know, he was part of a private equity firm and left in '95. 1 or 2 years, he did a bootstrap Amazon. He started Amazon with like $50,000. And then, when the company scaled up, he borrowed from his father, from mother, from friends and all of that stuff. And then once the idea is proven, you have, let's say, an app, you have a website, you have like at least 1 customer. And I think the way I would look at it, once you have broken, let's say 1 crore rupee revenue, something like that, that's a time to go out and see how can you fast track some of these things. And that's where incubator comes in, where a lot of mentorship can happen. From incubator, you move to angel, you move to venture capital, then you move to private equity, and you move to IPO. My company right now is in a private equity space, getting ready for an IPO. But I know so many companies, and as an example, I'm part of an angel club where we invest in startups. And actually, there's a small group for SRCC as well, specifically SRCC angels. Where companies like as an example, if I take, let's say, Milk Basket, yeah, anybody use Milk Basket, right? It's there in Gurgaon, Delhi, a few other cities. You order in the night and in the morning it appears, right? So things like that. Somebody have funded those ideas, yeah. So you can do your own, or you can also plan to invest in some of the startups. So that's what my view would be. There is no age. My recommendation. But make sure, what you do, start small, get it proven yet. I think I'll take another last analogy, WhatsApp, right? So if you study WhatsApp, the founder, Jack Kong, right? He's a founder. When he sold the company, it got sold for $20 billion, okay, to Facebook. And what anybody guesses how many number of employees were there in WhatsApp when WhatsApp got sold? 20 employees. That's it. So $20 billion valuation, 20 employees. So how did he do it? He said, look, I will launch an app, and WhatsApp is like a global phenomenon. And it's still not monetizing. Has any one of us paid anything to WhatsApp yet? Zero. I think they started with like $1 a year, kind of a 55, 60 rupees. But then they kept it free. Now the data they have is amazing. So I think what they did was they got the product right. They got like the users who are like swearing by your product. And that's a time to actually scale up. So I would wait till any idea you have to get what is a commercial market. So look, at the end of the day, anybody who will put his money, will like to see some sort of a scalability. So if you have a commercial viability of your idea, test it out, have some fan club of your product, and then go like full zoom. And that's where the venture capital money comes in to start from, let's say, $1 million to $1 billion. That's where the new capital money in the world is used for.
Okay, so you're saying Ecom has specific funds for SRCC angels too?
Yeah, no, that's part of my personal capacity. Is like it's from ex-SRCC guys, ex-CAs, it's G friends and all that stuff. We have a small group around things. If somebody wants to have some idea, please let us know.
Excellent, very nice. Saurabh, your take, initial steps as we graduate from SRCC.
I think incubator की अगर हम बात करें तो incubator is a concept which came of lately. पहले entrepreneurship में ऐसा support और ऐसा guidance नहीं होता था. So I think incubator is a very nice concept. ICAI and other prominent institutes should have incubator, and this will guide you and take you, give you a path. जहाँ तक in terms of age, I think totally agree with Naeem. There is no age to entrepreneurship. You will have to keep trying. Ritesh Agarwal started at 25. Sunil Bharti Mittal also started at 25. Ritesh Agarwal probably took his company and is known at the age of 25. But Sunil Bharti Mittal came to be known at the age of 40 when he set up Airtel. So there is no age. You'll have to keep trying. और जो failure आपको सिखाएगा, I think वो success शायद इतना ना सिखाए.
बहुत महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट है ये. There is nothing related to age, right? And failure can teach you a lot. Incubator, yes or no?
Absolutely. I think there's enough and more, opportunities available. And I think just building on the point, age is not a criteria anymore. I think all you need is a good idea. And there are enough and more incubator funds which are available. In fact, many of you may not know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't have to be a big name. There are lots of people who are doing it in their personal capacity. There are a group of people who have it. There are companies which are coming up. So long there's a good idea, I don't think it should ever be a problem. The last bit I would add is that when you look around, you'll be amazed at how many different kind of opportunities exist. If I give an example, a cousin of mine, he's working on the taxi booking side of things. And I was quite surprised myself that a week back he was able to close out with a fund for a fairly substantial valuation. And he's just solving for the problem that how do I make sure that for the event sector, taxis are available in a particular way which others have not thought about. So look around, anything that bothers you, pretty much there's an idea there. You look at all cab sharing, you look at hotels, wherever disruption has happened, it started from a personal experience not being good and then the owners made it into a much bigger idea.
Absolutely. I think we all are customers. Wherever the shoe pinches, perhaps that is where the problem is. And as someone said, problem solving is so critical to entrepreneurship. One of the other things is technology. I'll come to that. But closing in on the incubator part, since Shashank ji is the new chairman of NIRC ICI, what are your thoughts, sir? ICI ने साल भर पहले बांद्रा कुर्ला कॉम्प्लेक्स में पहला इंक्यूबेटर खोला, लेकिन नॉर्दर्न रीजन में भी क्या इंक्यूबेटर खुले, ये मांग हमारी पूरी होगी?
चलिए फ्रेंड्स, शायद अमित सर देखिए मेरे लिए तो हमेशा इंस्पिरेशन रहते हैं और मैं हमेशा स्टार्टअप्स के साथ काम किया. मैंने एक क्लियर बाय चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी, उससे पहले एक मैंने स्टार्टअप भी बनाया. तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है एज अ सीए स्टूडेंट्स आप ये समझें कि स्टार्टअप का मतलब खाली इनोवेशन नहीं है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट रिकॉग्नाइज इनोवेशन एज अ पार्ट ऑफ स्टार्टअप. बट फॉर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स टू ईज आउट एनी वर्क, आप क्लियर टैक्स को मैं आज एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जांपल मानता हूँ कि उसने पूरी इकोनॉमी को जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की जो करने का तरीका वो चेंज कर दिया. दे ग्रैब द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू टुक ओवर द जीएसटी एज वेल. सो कहीं ना कहीं, और ये सीए स्टूडेंट्स के टाइम पे ही स्टार्ट होता है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी, क्योंकि जो सबसे पहला प्रेशर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनने के बाद आता है कि आज आप डिग्री होल्डर हैं, आपको पैसा कमाना है, अटमोस्ट प्रेशर. But as an article, you have a support of all your bosses. कि सर मैं इस प्रोडक्ट पे भी काम करना चाहता हूँ. आप trust me, there is other council members sitting with us and all the dignitaries on the dais कि हर एक पर्सन आपको सपोर्ट करेगा, हर एक जना आपके ऊपर लाख रुपए लगाने को तैयार होगा यार तुमको कुछ करो. तो आइडिया, कन्विक्शन एंड डिटर्मिनेशन, ये तीनों चीज़ें आपको लानी है. पैसे लगाने वाले लोग बहुत सारे हैं मार्केट में, आइडिया बहुत सारे हैं, बट जो कन्विक्शन और डिटर्मिनेशन है वो कमी है. और मेरे को लगता है सर ने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है यार इंक्यूबेटर्स के लिए, सर ये मेरा तो सपना हमेशा से है कि दिल्ली में इंक्यूबेटर हो, नॉट फॉर द चार्टर्ड, फॉर द मेंबर्स, फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स. और इट्स नॉट अबाउट द इनोवेशन, इट्स अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट्स. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have an incubation cell here in SRCC? Do we have one? Well, you should request your principal also. Sir, why not? It's always nice. You can walk in, at least somebody will hear your story. Let me come to the technology part now. Because today... Yes.
Already as an incubation center, and we have competition wherein we invite startups from our college and from other deep colleges to compete, and the best startup gets incubated in the college. And it's like the first Delhi University college to come up with this initiative.
Right. Excellent. This is brilliant. I hope other colleges also take a leaf from SRCC's book you put more pressure because this does help to create the ecosystem. Let's talk about technology. When President Trump and the delegation visited, among other things that they discussed, defense, security, healthcare, communication was also discussed. Specifically, Mr. Ajit Pai was part of his delegation, who's an Indian diaspora, and they are contemplating 5G now. So we heard about 3G, 4G, now 5G is also coming. So let me come to Saurabh now. Saurabh, जैसे हम MobiKwik में तो डिजिटल फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडर है, इतना बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म, टेक्नोलॉजी के प्रति आप कैसे देखते हैं? ये युवा आकर्षण दिखा रहे हैं या सिर्फ फाइनेंस पढ़ रहे हैं कि उससे आगे जाकर टेक्नोलॉजी को और समझना होगा?
I think, okay, so I'll take this example from my current industry. In terms of the way people are approaching at this point in time is, they have a much broader mind than we used to have 20 years back. The expectation from us is that who comes in as a finance professional not only focuses on finance, but is also kind of tech savvy. Tech savvy doesn't mean he has to do coding or programming, but he should be he should have a fair amount of interest and flair for processes. Even going a step ahead and looking at customer experience. So I think एक example मैं आपको दूंगा, जैसे किसी ज़माने में आप लोन लेते थे तो you used to take that loan in your bank account and bank used to give that loan. Today fintech companies are in this space and they are disbursing loans not only directly in your bank account but let's say in your wallet. Okay, so अगर आप आज ऑनलाइन आप लोन ले सकते हैं और चाहें तो अपने let's say wallet में, जैसे Paytm का wallet है, MobiKwik का wallet है, उसमें आप लोन ले सकते हैं, which is a virtual money. Now this is entirely a new concept. आप कैश में लोन नहीं ले रहे हैं. So इसमें challenges apart from finance perspective, which is like when do you kind of treat a loan has been given, when do you book a loan, how do you show a loan book, these are the finance challenges and finance professionals obviously deal with this. Apart from that, the young age entrepreneurs would also expect the finance guys to come in and step in and see the entire journey and process and see that if they are doing something for a better customer experience, does that interfere with the control aspect and the finance aspect in terms of financial control as well as in terms of being fair in terms of how do you represent that in books. So I think ये एक पर्सपेक्टिव, ये एग्जांपल है कि क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है आज फाइनेंस के प्रोफेशनल से और उनका जो इन्वॉल्वमेंट है खाली फाइनेंस में नहीं है, प्रोसेस सेटिंग अप में भी होगा और कहीं ना कहीं वो कस्टमर टच पॉइंट पे भी हिट करेगा. तो ये कंट्रीब्यूशन हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, आई थिंक, फ्रॉम अ फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम.
Excellent. Doesn't it sound fascinating? Virtual money hitting your mobile wallet and it's a loan. All of this is going to be a possibility, or it is already becoming one, because even MobiKwik, from being a traditional digital financial services provider, is expanding to have wealth maximization and loan insurance.
I think not only fintechs but even banks are very willing to do that now because they want to reach out to a broader mass and the masses of the country, and they want to do a small ticket size loan not only in cash but also in virtual money. So I think technology will play a very important role here, and this is only one example.
Right. But Mayank, students में से at SRCC were studying auditing, accounting, यही syllabus पूरा नहीं होता. Do we study technology separately? How do we become tech savvy?
So, look, my view would be technology comes from your own personal conviction. So, the way to study, in my view, what you guys can put up, one is embrace technology. And that doesn't mean buying the latest iPhone 10 version, right? I know, look, at college time we don't have money to even buy an Android phone. iPhone is like, of course, on the top end. But what I would suggest is, invest, like to see around what's going on. Probably let's say a Google Home or a Alexa or a drone. Like personally speaking, any gadget that comes, I try to buy and try to experiment. I have a drone for my personal drone. I have almost every gadget which is probably available. So firstly, try and experiment every technology, right? So you embrace that. I think the few other things I would say is what I've seen is technology is also a way of thinking. And today, if I see and connect this question, Amit, to the way we are working, is today world is moving towards an algorithm thinking. Okay, so understanding how does a basic coding, and I'm just picking up, for my friend here, I will not mind actually studying coding. And actually, I've tried. I know basics of C++. I myself have studied a little bit coding. I can review algorithm. I can tell what is the algorithm mota about. I may not able to write the code, but I can understand a little bit. What it does.
Did you learn coding on job?
Yeah, so it's like you go to Google and there are like several edX and Una Academy and several online courses are there free of cost. Like you can learn it like in 4 weeks. They're like 12 videos, just download and listen to them and you'll get a lot of views. And what it does, fast forward, is it's a way to think about it. So, if you see any app, let's say, I came here using a Uber app. Now, Uber is just nothing but like plain thinking. So there's a code, it tracks your location because, somehow like each phone has a GPS location and it uses Google Maps and then the code says, algorithm test which are the nearby cabs. Yeah. So every problem is getting solved by just using, logical thinking. So logical, and I think CAs are the most logical thinkers in general from a financial standpoint. I think balance sheet represents, numerical number of everything what happens in a company and in a corporate setup. If we can add it like a coding around it, or the way let's say an AP process, right? And I'm just making a little bit technical so that you guys understand, right? From an audit perspective, you'll review a accounts payable process, right? That's number one risk, right? Is a payment fraud happening, wrong bills are getting booked, and from a company point of view, employees claiming wrong, how can I optimize my costs? So at least what I try with my team is one, picking up from the point, automate everything as possible. And all the human brain and intervention should be on an algorithm basis, right? If you see a defect in one process, put an algorithm around it. Okay, so that data doesn't happen again. So I'll give an example. I'll use another case, right? COD. So in e-commerce, what happens is COD, the cash on delivery is the biggest enabler. You'll be surprised, at a pan-India level, almost 70% shipments in India today are still COD linked. Yeah? And in the industry, we are the biggest player from a COD handling capacity. So every day we handle almost 50 crore cash collected for 1,000 customers from 2,600 locations in the remotest part of the country. And collecting it, reconciling it, depositing in the bank, getting credit and returning it back use a lot of technology. So if you have a technology mindset, that what is the problem we are trying to solve and put steps around coding and algorithms around it and manage exceptions, I think that's exactly what will add further enhancement to our capacity and as a CS.
Okay. Gaurav, few words on technology and how it shapes modern businesses.
I think one reality is the technology is already here and now. Yeah, and I think when we really look back at how we spend a day, when you just reflect, you realize that right from ordering groceries to booking a cab, to booking a movie ticket, to booking a travel, hotel, you name it. So that's already there, and I think we are actually as a society quite good at adopting to new technology. I think particularly from a CA student or a finance student perspective, I think there's one thing I'd like to just call out is there is usually a equation of technology equals IT. That really is not the case. Technology basically is using common sense in saying that if something is being done manually, how can it be just be automated? Yeah, you can always find people who can do the coding for you. But I think what all of you need to think about is that is there a better, faster, easier way? So to me, that's what technology essentially means, and that intrinsically will require the only skill which I think it requires is curiosity. Yeah, you just have to say, how can I automate? ये easy कैसे हो सकता है? बाकी सब हो जाएगा.
Absolutely. I think that's the key word, curiosity. So I'm coming back again. I've been told we only have 10 minutes to wind up. The better the question, the better the answer. And of course, in a fast evolving world, how can you build a long-term career? That's the question. As we come to the last 10 minutes, do we have more questions flowing in? See, I can tell you, I'm very happy that you...
Amit, can I just make one point? I think summarize जो गौरव ने बोला और मयंक ने भी बोला, आई थिंक जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स अब जो पास हो रहे हैं और जो इस फील्ड में जा रहे हैं, सिंपल एक चीज़ आपको ध्यान रखनी है, कीप इट सिंपल. अपार्ट फ्रॉम बैलेंस शीट प्रॉफिट लॉस, आपको प्रोसेसेस में इंटरेस्ट लेना है कि हर चीज़ का प्रोसेस कैसे होता है. टेक्नोलॉजी आप अपने आप बिल्डअप सीखते जाएंगे जैसे जैसे आप उसमें घुसेंगे. सो जस्ट बी very, as you said, curiosity, interest in how a particular order is delivered when you order from Amazon, Flipkart. What is the entire journey? आपको processes में interest लेना है. बाकी चीज़ें अपने आप होती चली जाएंगी.
Okay, let's come to the final round of questions. So this is your chance of asking the panel final set of questions.
Okay, so my question is, today as the venture capitalist or angel investor or any type of fund investors, they are investing in the startups by seeing the ideas, not the skill set they have. So, because of which you can see, I've seen that Paytm has a valuation of $16 billion, but they're loss-making companies of approximately 4,000 crore. As well as Oyo is also $10 billion company and they are making the loss of 2,000 crore. So is it the lack of business skills or anything else that you want?
Okay, I think that's a very good question. A round of applause for Amit, please. Well, startup is fine, innovation is fine, but we also need to make profits. Salaried people tell us that pension is a very good word. If we want to tell them that profit is a better word than pension, then we need to make profits. The question is, Oyo is a big brand, is Oyo making profits? MobiKwik, very big brand, is MobiKwik making profits? For sure I know that Ecom has got some profit till PAT level. So let's start with the profitable person first and then we come to everyone.
So, Amit, I agree with you. I think as a finance guy, I joined a startup and exactly the same question I had. How the hell Flipkart set up in 2007, in 2020 again they are making losses, right? And let's say Flipkart is at the top end, like they've shown ways to a lot of us, right? And when I spend some time, I know what's the view. My view, I think the way we run our organization, yes, I think any decision and every decision, we need to make money. Okay. The question is when. So there is always a debate between growth and profitability. I think some people are putting a pedal on growth, some people are slowing growth and then putting a pedal on profitability. So I think the biggest learning is balancing out the two. I'm pretty happy to share is, our company is actually the only startup in technology, logistics, and e-commerce who's making money at a PAT level. And this year will be a second year, so we are just a 6-year-old company. So we made profit in 6th year, now it's the 7th year. So we are doubling our profit this year at a PAT level. How we do it? One, I think just sanity. I think, of course, we are heavily innovative. We are trying to invest in technology. But as a finance guy, I demand that you are doing this in technology, show me the money in this. Right? If you are, let's say, we have built a huge data sciences team, we have built a huge analytics team, we are putting AI, ML, like the new concepts. But I demand from them, as I'll give you a use case, right? Fuel. So, like, let's say boys are running over and they are charging, like, for us on a kilometer basis because we follow our own manpower model. Now, how can I use technology? Data works in Delhi, right? But data doesn't work in Jumri Dalaya. We have an office in Jumri Dalaya, right? As an example in India. So what we are trying to use is demand ROI of every investment we are making, number one. Number two is sharp focus on the cost. I think what happens in a lot of these venture capital backed firms, once you have money, there's an Excel model. And that Excel model keeps on, you change the years, numbers remain same. Right? There's a loss making that next 5 years will be profitable. If you do, RBI did a survey, I think 2 months ago, how many startups want to do an IPO? 58% startups said we want to do an IPO in the next 12 to 24 months. 58% startups, yeah. Of those 58%, probably 99% are loss making. In India, you can, like Indian stock market has still not evolved to have loss making startups still yet. So I think it's a part of the growth and there's no right answer. The way we have discovered is getting sharp focus on the cost and make sure, our revenues, all the incremental growth you're getting, you demand, profitability out of it. If it's a cashback business, let's say one name you said and I will not use a name, but let's say it's on a cashback. The moment you pull out cashback, revenues drops by 90%. So if you don't have a moat and if you don't have the best service quality of what you're trying to offer, so it goes back to the basics. Basics of our business is happiest customer, right pricing, and in long term on that pricing making money. If either of these shit doesn't solve, then you are not in the right business.
Okay, CS Saurabh Jain.
I think I am also a part of organization which is making huge losses. So I think Mayank, what he said is right. There is no set formula. Every industry is different, and the only thing I have seen is that yes, focus on costs is obviously there. In in terms of decision making, you will have to keep measuring your decisions. Whatever small decisions are there, there has to be a mechanism to measure that whether you are moving in the right direction or not. There will be fair amount of failures, and you will have to take the corrective path and keep doing the stuff. If you have a conviction in terms of what you want to offer and what is the vacuum that you are trying to fill, there has to be conviction in that, and you'll have to keep moving. Profits will come, but focus has to be there in terms of focus of costs, and in terms of measuring, you have to keep measuring your decision.
Yes. CA Gaurav Khandelwal, please.
So I think goes without saying that every business needs to have a sustainable, viable financial business model. I think that is a given. But I think I'll take a slightly different track and encourage each one of you to think of life without an Uber Ola, without an Amazon, without the convenience of an Oyo booking. Yeah. Now, when you see it from that lens, one lens is loss. So long you are comfortable that loss is changing the way things work, bringing a disruption to the industry and creating a consumer value. What it means is that finally profitability will come. It's a question of when and not if. So I think that's the most important thing, because again, and I think a lot of finance people are very guilty of it because they look at the loss number and say, "Ye kya ho raha hai?" And that's what entrepreneurship is about, is to say that so long you are convinced about a consumer proposition, don't worry. When I look at, for example, Oyo, 90% of our customers are repeat. We don't go to anyone, they just come. Yeah. So I think that's one very important thing, because finance professionals in particular can often be guilty of saying, "Yaar, dekho, itna loss ho raha hai." If it's good for the consumer, please be assured, at the end of the day, there is going to be a viable business model to it. But of course, you have to keep on doing things like cost cutting, driving the business, etc. That's a given. But the litmus test is, am I changing for the better the life of the consumer?
Excellent. I think it's a brilliant viewpoint for us to conclude this, because customer is the king, customer is the queen. And as Gaurav rightly says, even when he was saying, imagine life without Oyo, without all of these Uber, Ola, I'm having goosebumps. How will I go back home? How will I manage everything? How will I book my cinema ticket? And therefore, when we talk about losses, maybe it is not only looking at losses through the prism of financial losses. If the customer is happy and if the value is being unlocked, surely it will turn into profits, as Saurav Jain says. The idea is you have to have conviction. And therefore, as we conclude, reflect upon the question all over again that I had asked you. What is the first word that comes to your mind when I say entrepreneurship? The first set included innovation, funding, problem solving. But now that you've heard them, would you agree? Courage, conviction, unlocking the value. What are the words have you learned now that you had the chance of hearing the esteemed panelist?
Patience.
Patience. This is a very good word. Brilliant word. Yes. Patience to CA sikha dega. Yes. What other new words have you understood today? Entrepreneurship means attitude. Yeah, taking risks. Risk is very essential.
Finding new opportunities.
Finding new opportunities. Yeah, backing bad decisions, because things can go wrong. You heard all of them. They talked about their vulnerability too. Making mistakes is part of life. Yes.
Failure is okay.
Failure is absolutely okay. Absolutely. You may have an opinion, everybody may have a contrary opinion to you, but if you are having conviction that this will work, you have to go out and just make sure that in this fast evolving world, you build a long-term career, because that is what it is. And for helping us understand this, a huge round of applause for all three panelists, CA Gaurav Khandelwal, CA Mayank Gupta,